So today we're talking about converting units, and specifically we're talking about going from customary to metric and then from metric to customary. You'll see both of those terms on your formula chart, and your formula chart will have everything you need today. And if you look at that formula chart, you'll notice that it's divided into three sections: one that measures length, one that measures volume, and one that measures weight or matter. We're going to look at just two questions together, and the first question asks us about distance. It says the distance between two towns is 120 kilometers. There are approximately 8 kilometers and 5 miles. Which measurement is closest to the number of miles between these two towns? For this problem, we're not even going to need our formula chart. We can just use proportions because our scale factor is given to us directly right here in the problem. We're told that there are 8 kilometers for every 5 miles. So let me write that down. Now, we know that the distance between the two towns is 120 kilometers. What we need to know is how many miles is that? We have a pretty straightforward proportion to solve here. I'm going to make it a little easier. I see that both of my numerators are divisible by 4, so dividing by 4 allows me to simplify this just a little bit. Now I have 2 over 5 equals 30 over x. And I can see, let's see, 2 times 15 is 30. So 5 times 15 would give me x. 75. So the distance between the two towns is 75 miles. That's answer choice A. Now, just on a side note, I know that some of you like to cross multiply and divide. What if I had used cross multiplication as my strategy? Would I have gotten the same answer? Let's see, using cross multiplication, I would have written this equation. That gives me 8x equals 600. Divide both sides by 8. Yup, same answer. Whichever method you prefer, you're going to get 75 miles. Let's look at another example. This one tells us that Chloe is 5 feet 4 inches tall. It also tells us that there are 2.54 centimeters in 1 inch. And we want to know Chloe's height in centimeters. So we were told that there are 2 54 centimeters in every inch, but when we were given Chloe's height, we were given it in feet and inches. Here's where that formula chart comes in handy. It tells us that 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. So that means I can rewrite this. Let's see, 5 feet is actually going to be 5 times 12 inches. Since each foot has 12 inches, plus the 4 inches. 5 times 12 is 60. And 60 plus 4 is 64. So she's 64 inches tall. Now we're ready to use our proportion. 1 over 2.54 is going to equal 64 over x. Before I actually do any math here, I notice that 2.54 is a little bit more than 2.5 times 1. So my answer should be more than twice as much as 64. It should be more than 64 times 2. If I was going to estimate it, I would say it's definitely more than 120, more than 130. So let's look at those answer choices. Boom, boom. We can get rid of F and G right away because they are actually smaller than 64. And you know what? I noticed that 1 times 2.54 equals 2.54. So I can just multiply 64 by 2.54 to get x. I got 162 and 56 centimeters. Would I have gotten the same thing had I cross multiplied? Let's find out. So let's say I didn't multiply both by 2.54. Instead, I cross multiplied and divided. That would have given me this equation. And to solve it, all that I would have needed to do was multiply 64 times 2.54. And that would have given me the same result. Answer choice H. And that's everything that you need to know to convert between metric and customary units. Carefully look at your formula chart, write a proportion, and solve it using the method of your choice.